not gonna lie, I'm actually still in shock. They actually delivered it. The shock of, well, me and about where I was in the building that night. We actually saw Stone Cold Steve Austin in a match at WrestleMania. I'm stunned. Pun intended. Terrible pun. Well, to be fair, I do think, yeah, Night One, I definitely prefer Night One, without a shadow of a doubt. It was, I to be fair, I actually enjoyed WrestleMania this year quite a lot. Part of the reason why is because I stayed off Twitter, stayed offline. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch it live, so stay off the internet, stay off, avoid the spoilers, and that's what. So again, my enjoyment of the product actually improved quite significantly. I was quite happy with that. Anyways, welcome to my first review. Well, won't call it a review, just so my thoughts on the whole thing. Some of you might be interested, some of you might not. Whatever. I haven't got a star rating scale like other people have, so I'm just gonna tell you if I enjoy the match or not. That's pretty much it. To be fair, the spectacle of the whole thing actually did feel pretty good this year. The lack of build up, or it just didn't feel like WrestleMania season. It just didn't feel like WrestleMania season. But you know what? Once the event came and you see the whole spectacle of it, tremendous stuff. I only wish they opened the show a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. They opened with Usos against Nakamura and Rick Boogs for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I'm not gonna lie. I was checked out of this match. I've been checked out of the tag team division for quite some time, and this did not help. I love the Usos. No disrespect to the four guys in the ring. They're all pretty good talents. Well, Usos phenomenal. Love Nakamura as a solo act, but I was checked out. I do feel quite bad for Boogs, considering it was his debut match at WrestleMania, doing a power spot, and I think he may have tore his quad. I probably suspect they rushed to the finish. Usos got the win. It's hard to really say if we enjoyed the match or not, given that there was an injury. So wave that one off. And like I said, it's not really how I would have opened WrestleMania, but it is what it is. Drew McIntyre against Happy Corbin. I love Drew McIntyre, but my God, has he been involved with this shit for way too long. One match was way too long. Especially with this, oh my God, he's so much better than this. I love Drew McIntyre. Completely reinvented himself. He should not be involved in this match. For the last 2 years, he's been involved in the title picture. And this year, he's like relegated to this shit. But hey ho, he was the first person kicked at the end of the days, so that's pretty good. The best part of the match. And I did see something quite new. I've never seen anybody actually destroy the ring ropes with a sword. That was a first. I'll give him that. That was a first for me. So, at this point now, it's like, again, was this really a WrestleMania match? We know the splits come in between Madcap Moss and Corbin. Like, if it wasn't for the spectacle of WrestleMania, these just felt like television matches. I'm like, enough of this stuff. Let's get to the meat of the stuff. Come on. So I think next up we had Mysterios against Logan Paul and The Miz. I fucking hate Logan Paul. With passion, seriously. The guy is a dick. He irks me. He's a natural heel. But I gotta give the devil his due. He costed himself pretty well. And fuck that Pokemon card as well that he had around his neck. Excuse the language. No, seriousness, I'll give the guy his credit here. He accosted himself very well. He accosted himself very well in his match, whatever little he did do. Done some suplexes, homage to Eddie Guerrero. Done his little frog splash. Dominic was a little bit too late in trying to break up the pin, but hey ho. As expected, Miz got the win, and surprisingly enough, he turned on Logan with a skull crushing finale, which means there's more to come. When you make the Miz cheered as a babyface, you know you're in the ring with a proper heel. How can the Miz had massive cheers? The Miz. I really hope they're not turning Logan Paul babyface. It'll be as miscast as Floyd Mayweather back in 2008. Just don't do it. It's not going to work. By the way, how awesome was that sustained pop with The Undertaker at the Hall of Fame? My God, that was incredible. I still haven't actually had the chance to actually catch up on the Hall of Fame yet, but from what clips I've seen online, tremendous stuff, just tremendous. I really do hope I catch up on that soon. And now my match of the night. My personal favourite match of the night. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Finally we had a big time field match for WrestleMania. As time was going on, the old television match, they just did not feel like WrestleMania. The matches didn't, at least anyways, but come on, we need to see something. And thankfully the women delivered, and in all my estimation, excelled. Especially the entrances. The entrances did add a lot. They added a lot to this match, especially at WrestleMania as well. I mean, come on. Did you find it all that Becky entered first with the was it a white Hummer? Was it a white Jeep of some sort? She comes out with a new hairstyle. Crazy Becky's coming, by the way. Belair enters with a marching band. This felt like a big match. I'm going in, I'm thinking, right, okay, Belair's got to win. The story is going to come full circle since SummerSlam last year. She squashed her in 26 seconds. This is Belair's redemption. And they delivered exactly that. Amazing match. I absolutely love it. It's probably my favourite match of the night. Just from an in-ring standpoint. It was just, I really enjoyed this one. I mean, who can do a 450 splash from the second rope? This Belair is a freak of nature. She's got it all, man. She is. I love watching her. Seriously, she's just freakishly strong. She's got everything. And Becky Lynch, I mean, what can you say? The recipe for success. Hands down, my favourite match of the night. Belair wins the Raw Women's Championship, as he should have, with a KOD. Top stuff. And then the big surprise. The big mystery opponent for Seth Rollins. I mean, like, I'm quite privy to the online world of Twitter and stuff. I heard the rumours about, it's going to be Cody. Cody Rhodes. I take everything with a grain of salt. I even tweeted myself, like, if I hear Kingdom played at WrestleMania, I'm like, holy shit, they've done it. But till you actually see it, it's like the stuff like, well, I believe it when I see it. This is just, I reserve judgment. Knowing them, they'll probably throw fucking Shane McMahon, or given what the Undertaker said, never say never, never say never. It's like, oh god, Mark, please. No. Of course, Rollins comes out with his little choir. That was pretty cool. Nice little touch. And then they milked this thing. It felt like forever waiting. Massive pyro goes off from all the way from the stage up to the from the ramp to the stage. The lights go out. Just well, I say silence. It was nothing but silence. No, it was you had some chance of Cody, obviously. But then you hear the familiar intro to the track. I'm not gonna lie, I actually had chills. I thought, holy fucking shit. It's actually happening. I was like, what? Mind blown. They actually had Cody Rhodes come out in his AEW entrance to the T. To a T. The presentation was Cody. It was like he stepped from it was like the multiverse of madness. As in, there was no variant here. Cody Rhodes of Earth 616 went from the AEW universe straight into the WWE universe. The look, the Homelander gear, as my girlfriend as she likes to point out, the Homelander gear. He was Cody from AEW. They didn't change a thing. It was perfect. And him and Rollins had my second favorite match of the night. Easy. Because you never know how they book these things. You think, well, obviously Cody's not going to lose on his first night in. I think everybody assumed that Sting would win his first WrestleMania match as well. But we know how that turned out, so you just don't know how these people think. You don't know how these people think. Really good match. A really good match, man. I can't speak enough good things about this. This felt big from the get-go. Cody, there was a lot of kicking out of finishers in this match. I'd say kicking out of finishers. I mean, Rollins kicked out of the crossroads. Oh, they've killed his finish on day one. Yeah, I think it's just a wrestling thing in general. That's like, come on. But whatever, it is what it is. It's WrestleMania, so I guess we can make an exception. But nah, man, that was a really good match. I did like it, and the hype for Cody as well. Cody naturally had to win. Rollins could sacrifice a loss; it's not really going to affect him. But Cody won. Thank Christ, he won. And he won with the crossroads. Well, it took two, and then the old Dusty tribute, which I actually quite liked. The bionic elbow, crossroads, got the three. So at this point now, I think, right, okay, feels like WrestleMania. This is going great. I've had the most fun watching this pay-per-view since in years. This is just, I think now it feels like WrestleMania. I'm really enjoying myself. And then the next match, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Kindest thing I could say about this is they beat the shit out of each other. Especially Ronda. She took a beating, but it was a physical match. Just like the Belair match. I mean, Christ, Belair, I don't know what the fuck happened to Belair, but I think she had a boot to the face, but her eyes swelled up bad. It was near enough half closed by the time she was raising the championship. But unlike the Belair match, this Charlotte Rousey match was just can't even say it was a bad match. It was just, I just didn't find it interesting. It was like the lack was shit, and the match was like meh. It was there. Two phenomenal athletes who had a better match back, a couple of years back in Survivor Series. This is just a complete letdown in my opinion. I was like, this was just there. and the complete fuck finish with referee bumps and Charlotte Flair getting the pin with the big, with the boot, retaining the title. It's obviously going to continue. Rousey had her beat like twice. She even tapped out, but the referee didn't see it. I didn't like this. It's like, whatever. I'm so glad they didn't close. Seriously, I'm a massive proponent of the Royal Rumble winner closing the show, but my God, I am so happy why they didn't close this show. And obviously, given what happened in the main event, it's pretty apparent why. Speaking of the main event, a KO show segment between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin. A talk show main event in WrestleMania, at least night one. Something didn't seem right about that. You know, the way they built this, it had to be more. It had to be some extended physicality. But fuck, I'm still in disbelief how they did this. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kevin Owens actually competed in a match at WrestleMania. This was just epic. This was just epic stuff. I can't believe it just said the words Stone Cold competed in a match. WrestleMania. This was my actual reaction. I was turning at least 9-10 years old when I thought I seen him in his last match against The Rock at WrestleMania 19. And here I am now, 19-20 years later, about to turn 29. And I saw that bald-headed bastard compete one more time WrestleMania. I still can't get over it. I was 9 years old again. I absolutely loved it. I'm not gonna lie. Austin, he was a little bit slower. But Christ, the guy's nearly 60 years old. Is he 60 years old or 50? He's closer to 60. Well, I don't know. He's in his 50s. I don't know age, but naturally, he's a little bit more. He's getting on a bit now. Obviously, I don't mean no respect, Steve. You can still kick my ass, don't worry. But oh my God, this was just epic. I mean, it is what it is. Austin took a few more bumps than I expected him to. But I mean, the pop this guy had, and then once the match started, you think they're not doing this. They ain't doing this. And then the referee comes in and thinking, there's gonna be some sort of twist. It's not gonna happen, and then. The fucking bell just rang. Oh my God. I'm still stunned, quite literally. But naturally, it's had to end in one way. Stone Cold Stunner. 1, 2, 3. Austin's career, like he said, Reggie referenced in the segment, started in Dallas, Texas, and it ended in Dallas, Texas. I don't think he's coming back. I wouldn't want to see him back now. I mean, you couldn't end WrestleMania another way like this. The significance of Stone Cold Steve Austin competing in a match 19 years after he seemingly retired was just, you could not end. There are exceptions to the rule of the Royal Rumble winner. You could not end this show any other way. And it quickly became apparent why it ended the show. My God. I'm still on high from watching that, but it brought me back to when I was a kid. I was a massive Steve Austin fan. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't get to see him at his prime. I caught up on all his work. He was, the very first WrestleMania I seen him in was with Scott Hall, who tragically passed away earlier this year. God bless his soul. But that was the first time I seen Austin. Was in. Actually, it was the Royal Rumble 2002. Not to go off on a tangent here. He didn't win, and a couple of months later, he was out of the company. But man, just the significance of seeing him back. Epic stuff. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on WrestleMania. I might do night 2. Who knows?